Freedom is not the absence of chains, but rather the mastery of one's own mind. And nothing tests this more than living alone. As the Stoics taught, true freedom is only achieved through discipline and wisdom. And if there's one scenario where this is put to the ultimate test, it's when you live alone. At first, having total control of your space, schedule, and routine sounds like paradise, but this freedom comes with a high price. Without good management, you can fall into traps that compromise your productivity, your health, and even your happiness. What's most frightening is that self-sabotage usually comes in a subtle, almost imperceptible way. If you already live alone or are about to take that step, stay alert. In this content, we'll explore 12 common mistakes that can undermine your well-being, and we'll also show you how to avoid these pitfalls and turn your experience into something truly enriching. It's not just about household matters, but also about personal development and social skills. Real beacons lighting the way toward a fulfilling life. So get ready and follow along until the end. You may be surprised at how small changes in attitude can revolutionize your day-to-day life. Let's go! Error number 1. Not having a purpose. If you wake up without a real reason to get out of bed, each day seems heavier. Small problems become huge, and motivation evaporates. Many people think purpose is something grand, an epic life mission, when in reality, it's found in the little things that give meaning to your routine. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? It could be a personal project, learning something new, a habit that challenges you, the pleasure of cooking, the discipline of a workout, or the dedication to a professional goal. Purpose is not a final destination, but rather the sum of steps that make your life worthwhile. We often wait for a moment of clarity to find a great purpose, but purpose isn't found, it's built. It's born of daily choices and what you nurture over time. If you feel lost, choose something that sparks your curiosity and dive in head first. Each small step in the right direction changes the way you view your own life. Error number 2. Wasting time voicing your dissatisfactions. Life can be tough, but complaining doesn't change anything. Imagine you're in the middle of the ocean in a leaking boat. You can spend hours complaining about the leak or grab a bucket and start bailing out the water. Most people choose the first option and end up sinking. Being a victim of circumstances means giving up your own power. When you blame others, the government, the economy, or luck, you're handing over the reins of your life. The truth is, no one will save you if you don't stand up and act. Life rewards those who make things happen. Every obstacle overcome makes you stronger. Every repeated complaint weakens you. If you're stuck in this cycle, make a different choice today. Stop complaining and start acting. The world doesn't stop to hear laments, but it does respond to those who move. Error number 3. Living in a messy, dirty home. The environment you live in shapes your energy and mindset. If your home is a battlefield of scattered clothes, dirty dishes, and accumulated dust, your mind mirrors that chaos. Imagine waking up and stepping onto a cluttered floor, seeing piles of stuff everywhere and trying to find something important amid the mess. Your productivity plummets, your motivation disappears, and your well-being dissolves. As psychologist Jordan Peterson says, clean your room before you try to change the world. Organization is not just about cleanliness, it's about respecting yourself. Every small habit of order is a step toward a clearer mind and a more productive life. A study from the University of California found that people living in disorganized environments have elevated levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. In other words, the more disorder around you, the more anxious and mentally drained you feel. Plus, a chaotic environment steals your time. How many minutes have you lost looking for your keys, wallet, or an important document in the mess? But changing this reality is within your reach. Start small. Pick one room and spend 15 minutes a day organizing something, a drawer, a shelf, or part of your desk. Small daily steps create lasting transformation. Another effective trick is the 2-minute rule. If something can be done in under 2 minutes, putting an item away, washing a glass, folding a piece of clothing, do it right then. This prevents clutter from piling up and keeps your space under control. Your home should be a refuge, not a source of exhaustion. Cleanliness and organization are not just aesthetics. They're foundations for your mental health, your productivity, and your quality of life. If you want mental clarity and the energy to grow, start by tidying up your surroundings. Error number 4. Eating carelessly. Your body is like an engine that needs the right fuel. Living on frozen food, fast food, and soda may seem harmless until you realize the lack of energy, the clouded mind, and your declining drive. Imagine fueling a race car with burned oil. At first it might run, but it'll soon start to fail and eventually break down. The same happens to your body when it doesn't receive proper nutrients. A diet based on natural foods improves mood, reduces anxiety, and boosts productivity. A colorful plate is not just food, it's an investment in your energy. Nutrition directly impacts your mental clarity and physical readiness. An excess of sugar and ultra-processed foods might give you a quick energy spike, but afterward come fatigue, irritability, and lower performance. Small adjustments, like adding more lean protein, fruits, and vegetables, can drastically improve your quality of life. If you want more energy and balance, try this for the next 7 days. Swap a soda for water, replace industrialized snacks with natural options, and cut back on fried foods. Your body and mind will thank you, and you'll see positive effects in every aspect of your routine. Error number 5. Isolating yourself completely. Imagine a traveler lost in the middle of a desert. At first, he feels absolute peace. No noise, no distractions, just him and the infinite horizon. But as the days go by, the silence becomes oppressive, the heat unbearable, and the lack of human interaction turns that solitude into a prison. Solitude can be a choice or a trap. If you go days without talking to anyone, your self-esteem and confidence start to deteriorate. Humans are like a campfire. Alone, the flame quickly dies, but next to other flames, it stays alight. A Harvard University study showed that people with strong social ties are happier and live longer. Isolation can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and even depression because our brains are wired for connection. Socializing doesn't mean being surrounded by people all the time. It's about cultivating genuine connections. Small gestures make a difference. Sending a message to a friend, setting up a coffee date, saying hello to a neighbor, or just going somewhere with a bit of activity. That positively activates your brain, renews your energy, and strengthens your self-esteem. Life happens in encounters, dialogues, and shared experiences. Don't let isolation silence your voice. Error number 6. Disrupting your sleep. Have you ever stayed up all night and felt the next day that everything seemed harder, like your mind was foggy and every task required triple the effort? Sleep is one of the pillars of physical and mental health. If you neglect your rest routine, your body and mind feel the impact immediately. Sleeping too little or at irregular times might seem harmless at first, but over time it leads to constant fatigue, lack of concentration, and drastic mood swings. Sleep isn't just a pause in your day. It's a fundamental moment for your brain's recovery. While you rest, your body regulates essential hormones, solidifies memories, and strengthens your immune system. A Stanford University study revealed that people who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night have a reduced capacity to make decisions and handle stress. This means more impulsive reactions, mood instability, and a drop in productivity. To improve your quality of life, establish a sleep routine. Some simple practices: set a fixed time to go to sleep and wake up. Avoid screens before bedtime. The blue light from phones and computers inhibits melatonin production, the sleep hormone. Create a sleep-friendly environment. A dark, quiet, and organized bedroom significantly improves sleep quality. Moderate your caffeine intake. Sleep deprivation affects your daily performance and can jeopardize your long-term health. As Arianna Huffington said, sleep is not a luxury, it's a pillar of a successful life. Now, reflect on how your sleep routine is. If your mind and body are always exhausted, it may be time to adjust your rhythm and regain balance. Error number 7. Spending without control. Your spending reflects your relationship with the future. When you live without financial planning, each impulse purchase might not seem like much at the time, but by the end of the month, the bill comes, often accompanied by stress and regret. Imagine your money is like a bucket of water. If it has small holes, even a large volume of water won't keep it from emptying quickly. Small accumulated expenses are those invisible leaks that drain your financial security. Financial problems are one of the biggest causes of chronic stress, and many only realize this when they're already drowning in debt. If you want freedom and peace of mind, adopt some essential practices. 1. Track your expenses. Knowing where your money goes is the first step to controlling it. 2. Before swiping your card, ask yourself, is this really necessary? 3. Pay yourself first. Save 10% of your money for yourself as a way of recognizing your own effort. 4. Spend less than you earn. This is the golden rule of financial education. 5. Plan for the future. Saving and investing build long-term security. As Warren Buffett said, do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master. Use it as an ally, not a source of worry. Error number 8. Living without organization. Living without organization is like trying to drive without a GPS in an unfamiliar city. You might get around, but you're unlikely to reach your destination efficiently. A lack of routine structure wastes time, leads to frustration, and traps you in a cycle of procrastination. If you've ever felt like the day went by and you didn't accomplish anything, or the tasks piled up because you lacked clarity on what to do, it's not a lack of time, but a lack of structure. Disorganization affects not only your productivity, but also your self-esteem. Each day lived in improvisation creates a feeling of helplessness, like you're always playing catch-up. To change this, don't try to fix everything at once. Create small daily rituals. Before bed, outline a simple plan for the next day. Keep your space organized, since your environment reflects your mental state. Use task lists, setting 3 priorities per day. Just like a pilot won't take off without a flight plan, you can't expect to arrive anywhere without knowing which path to follow. Living alone doesn't mean living in chaos. Organization isn't about rigid control. It's about creating a system that works in your favor. As Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. True freedom isn't doing everything haphazardly, but structuring your life so that each day is a solid step toward what you want to build. Error number 9. Not exercising. Your body was made to move. Being still is accepting apathy as your default state. After a long time without physical activity, even simple tasks feel harder, stairs seem taller, fatigue comes faster, and your energy fades. Sedentarism doesn't just affect the body, it also impacts the mind. When you exercise, your brain releases endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, substances that reduce stress, increase well-being, and improve mental clarity. In other words, moving your body is like hitting an emotional reset, sweeping away laziness, bad moods, and that lingering sense of fatigue. The less you move, the more your body adapts to inertia, making any physical effort a burden. It's like a car that hasn't run in a long time. The parts rust, and the engine loses efficiency. Conversely, when exercise becomes a habit, your body responds with more energy, more drive, and a sense of self-mastery. Many people make the mistake of thinking they have to become athletes overnight, leading to frustration and quick abandonment. The key is not intensity but consistency. Find something you enjoy: walking, dancing, yoga, sports, or weight training. The important thing is to move. Exercise's impact goes beyond physical and mental health. It strengthens your discipline. If you can overcome laziness in training, you can overcome it in any other area of life. Over the next 7 days, commit to moving your body every day, even if just for 10 minutes. Make it a habit, and remember, those who move transform themselves. Error number 10. Neglecting your growth. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. Life doesn't stop, and those who don't evolve remain stagnant while the world moves on. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it weakens. If you don't challenge your own thoughts, you remain stuck in the same ideas, mistakes, and results. Learning isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. The future belongs to those who never stop evolving. Neglecting your growth isn't just about not studying or reading, but also closing yourself off to new ideas, avoiding challenges, and getting too comfortable. This stagnation creeps in slowly, like water seeping into a boat through a small leak. At first, you don't notice, but suddenly you realize you're drowning in sameness. A study at Stanford University showed that people who keep learning throughout their lives develop a growth mindset, believing they can improve their abilities and intelligence through effort and practice. This mindset boosts the likelihood of success and reduces fear of failure because you understand every mistake is a learning opportunity. Learning also improves your decision-making, enhances your emotional intelligence, and gives you a greater sense of control over your own life. If you feel stagnant, the issue may not be a lack of opportunities, but a lack of initiative. Knowledge is within your reach, but nobody can learn for you. As Alvin Toffler said, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." Learning is a commitment to your future. If you want a different life, start today. Error number 11. Being a slave to technology. Imagine waking up and before you even get up, you grab your phone, you open one notification, then another, and before you know it, the day has passed and you've accomplished nothing. It might sound extreme, but that's how technology hijacks our attention, little by little, without us noticing. The problem isn't technology itself, but the role it plays in your life. If every spare moment is spent taking a quick look at your phone, your brain never learns to handle silence. But it's in silence that you find yourself, that the best ideas emerge, and where the most meaningful memories are formed. If you don't take control, technology will steal your time, your mental energy, and your presence in the real world. But there is a solution. Set boundaries. Keep your phone out of the bedroom when you sleep, set periods of the day to disconnect, and replace a few minutes of screen time with real-life moments, like reading a book, walking, having face-to-face conversations, or working out. Technology should be a tool, not a prison. Error number 12. Keeping bad habits. Habits are seeds. What you plant is what you harvest. If you feed destructive patterns, don't expect to reap a balanced life. The issue with bad habits is that they install themselves silently, without warning, and before long they've become part of your identity. One day you go to bed late because you got distracted on your phone. The next, you skip breakfast because you woke up with no energy. Then, you start putting off important tasks because you're always tired. Suddenly, the mess has become your routine, and your life revolves around choices that weaken your health, focus, and well-being. The danger of bad habits isn't just their immediate impact, but how they build your future. Small decisions that seem meaningless today add up and form the person you're becoming. According to studies from Duke University, around 45% of our daily behavior isn't the result of conscious decisions, but rather automatic habits. The good news is that just as bad habits were created, they can be replaced. First, identify the habit's trigger. What sets it off? It could be stress that leads you to eat when you're not hungry, boredom that makes you endlessly scroll your phone, or fatigue that causes you to procrastinate. Second, replace the bad habit with a better one. Our brain doesn't cope well with absence. It needs an alternative. Instead of saying, "I'll stop using my phone before bed," say, "I'll read a book before bed." Finally, make the new habit easy and the old habit hard. If you want to stop eating fast food, don't keep it at home. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle nearby. If you want to ditch your social media addiction, remove the apps from your home screen. Every positive new habit you adopt triggers a domino effect in other areas of life. Living alone isn't just about having a space to call your own. It's also about taking responsibility for each daily choice, from your home and routine to your relationships and personal growth. Avoiding these mistakes can completely change your experience of living alone, making it much more enriching and rewarding. Remember, small changes yield great results. Every step you take in the right direction makes all the difference in building a fulfilling, well-balanced life. Please comment Armored Wisdom if you watched the video until the end. Also, I'm leaving a video here that complements the subject. I'd be very happy if you watched it. I think you'll like it. Thanks.